What's up, y'all? It's your girl Shay Renee, and we are back to talk about the Shy season 6, episode 4, called The Re-Up. And can I tell y'all something? This season is very, very good. Let's get into it, shall we?
Can't ball in a life, man. Go on with it, go on with it. Do us. So we are coming with a force. Yeah. Blessing the reap and we coursing on.
So y'all always love the Shy because the writing is impeccable. What is Lena Waithe, I believe, is the producer of this show. This show is absolutely phenomenal. I would encourage Tyler Perry to take a look at his counterparts to fix his shows. But moving on, the episode starts off where Emmett wakes up looking for this pow pow that was in the drawer. Okay, he looks down there and he notices that it's gone. So now he has to figure out where it is. So he wakes up frantic looking for it. And Keisha is like, what the hell wrong with you? Like, you running around here like a chicken with the head cut off. I don't know what's happening. Like, what's going on? So he wants to find it because obviously he don't know where it's at. He don't want one of the kids to find it, but he don't know at this point that his dad has it. So moving on, in the next scene, we see Duda in the shower with Tony Childs. I said they done found Tony Childs from Girlfriends, honey. She is working again, okay? She is out here with a job, okay? So she in the shower giving him something he can feel, okay? And it's 4:20, so they are blazing up. She's giving him a shotgun, and he's like, I don't like stuff like that because it makes my mind cloudy. I can't think. So then she's like, well, sometimes we just need to relax, blah, blah, blah. So then he ends up letting her do it, and he starts getting the doing the Dougie on her. Just a little side note, Duda had a little rhythm with his stroke. Okay, um, it was interesting to say the least. But as they in there getting crunk under the shower head, here comes Rosalind coming in, and she's like, Tony Childs is like, somebody's in here. And it's Rosalind basically telling him that he done screwed the pooch again. Okay, so he gets out the shower to go see what the heck she wants. In the next scene, Victor, Emmett, and Rashad are at Emmett's house, and Victor is making some weed wings because it's 4:20. So Victor seems very like he got a lot going on. He's thinking about the whole situation with Fatima. He's thinking about his career, how he got to look a certain way, act a certain way. He got to get all these things done in his new job. Then he got to be dealing with Duda behind the scenes. Like, he is really feeling stressed out. So he begins to talk to the guys about mental health and how they need to really just sit down and open up to each other and talk about stuff because it's a lot of things that he needs to release. And I'm like, I'm all for men getting together and talking out their feelings, but he was on to something when he said, have y'all ever gone to a therapist? And I'm glad that even if this was a gateway to him going to see a therapist, I encourage every Black man to have a therapist because so many men always bottle things up. They supposed to be this strong person all the time. They supposed to be the one that don't never, don't nothing bother them, right? Or they supposed to be a protector at all times. I actually asked my husband this question. I asked him, I said, how does it feel like if we had, I'll tell y'all a quick story. We had a groundhog outside for the longest time under my the front steps of last spring. I would freak out about this groundhog. And I said to my husband, Brian, I said, what if we catch it finally? Who gonna get it? I was like, do you ever feel some type of way that I expect you to be the one to always handle the dirty deeds of stuff like that? And he was like, I mean, I'm a man. Like, that's what we're expected to do. And I thought about that. And I was like, wow, that has to be a lot of pressure where you got to build something around the house. You got to take the trash out. All of the like hard work deeds, right? The man is expected to do it. But where is their outlet to talk about all the things that could be bothering them, all of the stressors that they have? They have stresses at work just like we do. But enough of my rabbit hole. I'm glad that he actually had that conversation with his friends. And I think that more men in general should encourage each other to open up and even go and see a therapist. But child, Emmett is running around stressed now because he's looking for this damn pow pow, okay? And he don't know where it's at. He told the guys that he's looking for it and he needs some help. And Rashad over here trying to stop lusting after Tiara. I'm like, Rashad, it was a one-time lay down in the sack, sir. You need to stop thinking about homegirl because she is not going to be with you. Moving on. Tiff and Rob are puffing on a lie, okay, and taking orders from people for different types of weed that they have because it's 420, so she getting all the orders rolling in. So she asked Rob how long before they're going to be on their own because she wants to get away from Duda. Now, Tiffany, let's pump your brakes a little bit, sis, because we do see you later on in the episode trying to rush Victor to get you some permits so you can do this and do that with this whole growing of your own weed situation. Ma'am, slow down. Tiffany want to rush everything. She rushed into her marriage with Emmett. She rushed out of her marriage with Emmett. What you going to do with Rob? Because you wanted to do this whole we going to sleep with other people type of stuff. And then you want to get out of your marriage because now you want to be with Rob. Then you want to do the same thing with Rob because you still kind of want to sleep around with Tia Mowry's ex-husband. Child, I don't know. Tiffany is all over the place. I think she's just struggling to find herself. Like she's trying to find, she wants to be this big, powerful, she want to be Griselda Blanca. That's what she want to be. She wants to be this big time person. She wants to have her own business and she's fighting for her own independence. But it's like, girl, you got to take baby steps sometimes and you have to do the work to get there. It's not, everything is not a race to the finish line. Okay. Everybody want to live. We all live in a microwave society. Everybody want to rush to do stuff, but sometimes slow and steady is what wins the race. Okay. So moving on, Duda goes to Rashad's shop where he's fixing cars and throws a large lump sum of money in a bag to him for a job, I guess, that he done did for him. And he basically wants him to continue to work for him. And Rashad was like, I ain't never had this much money in a while since the last time I had it. I had just robbed a bank. I was like, baby, Rashad, keep your tail out of the big house. That's what you need to do. You need to sit down. Okay. You was just complaining about how you're gonna be complaining later on in the episode how it's hard for you to get a job and all this. Don't let Duda get you mixed up in some BS. Okay. Okay. That's how it always starts. You get something on your record, you can't get it off, and then everybody judging you for the rest of your life. It's a sad situation because there are so many talented people that in their younger years did something stupid. And it could be something that really, they weren't even the culprit. They weren't even involved in it. Then they ended up going to the big house for it. And it's sticking with them for the rest of their life because, oh, I ain't want to snitch on my friend. So I'm going to jail for some BS. Now it's on your record and you look like a fool. But Rashad, you really did rob that bank yourself. So you just got to live with the consequences. Moving on. So then Nook comes in with a bunch of GUNS's. Okay, y'all, we can't say that word. That's why I say pow pow. So he comes in with a bunch of pow pows and says that the client didn't show up to pick up the drop. So Duda is like, damn, get this stuff away from me. I can't have this stuff around me. So he takes he says, you find somebody to get rid of this stuff right now. So y'all, first I want to go back. I skipped the scene with Duda and Rosalind. So Rosalind talks to Duda and she tells him about Q being an FBI informant. So apparently Q was doing it in exchange for money. And I'm like, this man Q had a lot going on behind the scenes. Like, you gambling, you running around town playing like you the boogeyman, and your only henchman was Duda. Didn't nobody like you? I guess Nook was working for him too, but Nook was the one that told Duda to go ahead and off Q because he was tired of him. So that makes me think, with all of y'all criminals, it's just so easy for somebody to double cross you, and once they don't want you around, they don't want you in leadership anymore, they can go ahead and get rid of you, and then the next person just gonna come and take your place. Ain't that nothing? So Rosalind is like, listen, I'm gonna try to get the court cases off of you, or keep you away from this. And keep yourself, don't be shooting nobody because they chewing gum too loud. I was like, child, that was a mess when he shot that dude just because he's talking about, oh, I'm not even really chewing that loud. And he gets up and goes over there and ends the man's life over there. I said, this man he's crazy. Duda is the type of person that can terrorize an entire community because people are allowing it. And he's like the big bad bully of the neighborhood. Nobody wants to push back, but everybody is conforming. And it makes me feel like when you have people like that in the neighborhood, well, we literally have those types of people in government, but that's a whole nother story, and they got power. But when you have somebody like that in your community, everybody got to rise up against the individual, because one person can't be in control of the masses unless you allow it. Like, somebody got to be getting a benefit off of this in some type of way. And I don't even know in this situation what benefit the community is actually getting off of Duda, besides the fact that people continue to buy drugs and all this, that, and stuff that's swarming throughout the community, and he's controlling that. And addiction is a huge thing. So it's not like you can just get people off of drugs like that. So that's how these types of people continue to stay in power, because people keep money in their pockets and they keep people addicted so they can keep getting richer and richer. It's just a sad cycle of BS. But moving on, Dre runs into, after the whole GUNS situation with Nook, going back to that, Duda tells him to find somebody, and Nook asks Bakari, can he find somebody that can basically hide the pow pows for them until they can sell them. So Bakari says he's on it, he'll figure it out. So in the next scene, Dre runs into her ex Monica, which is doing some Reiki specialist stuff at the same building that Dre works in to deal with her clients. Dre is I think she's a therapist. She's a psychologist or whatever, a psychiatrist, something like that. She's a mental health advocate. She works in mental health. So she runs into her ex, and of course her ex is all smitten by her again. I'm like, don't be getting all wet down in the panties for her now. You ain't want to be with her before because you want to run off with somebody else, according to Dre. And then later on, this Monica chick tries to shade Dre's wife. I'm like, girl, going on. Because now you see her again after some years, after whatever you got going on ain't work out. Now you want to be trying to shade Dre and her new relationship. Boo and bye to you. So moving on. Gemma in the next scene is talking to her father, Marcus, about her working with Maisha. She needs some more money so that she can do more with Maisha's career. And I'm like, Gemma, girl, Gemma is all over the damn place. Okay. You used to be Sister Soldier in school when Kevin was in school with you. I think Kevin still goes to the private school, or does he not? No, he don't go there no more. Now Jake go there. But anyway, girl, you don't know what you want to do. You was Sister Soldier with your bush out at school, and you was in activist in all the programs. You was the smart girl all over the school. Then you want to date Kevin and start smoking, and you're doing all this. Then you want to date Jake, and now you a bad girl and you're getting pregnant and doing, girl, are you going through a midlife crisis at 17? I don't get it. Which, shout out to the actress that plays Gemma. I bet y'all didn't know she's actually 22. I think she's 22 or 23 years old. Yeah, so she's actually a real grown-up. But moving on, Gemma is trying to justify her whole situation with Maisha. She's like, I just need some more money. I can do this. We're working on her career. And her father was like, you know what? I really don't give a fuck about none of that. You are going to take your ex to college if this doesn't work out by the time you graduate. I'm not playing with you or your future, okay? You and Maisha can be out here, juggling beats in your college dorm room. That's what you can do. And she can pay for her own career, because your money, the buck stops at graduation. Thank you. Appreciate you. So Gemma is all up in an uproar because now she thinks she got the next Cardi B, Nicki Minaj on her hands, and she just wants to get rich quick off of Maisha. And I'm like, girl, I don't know. I don't put your whole stock of life in that. That's all I'm gonna say. Moving on, Fatima is sitting with her messy friends, and I just know one of them from DC because they got the little DC accent. I'm like, I'm gonna look into these other chicks because they sound like they from the district. But moving on, her friends are basically telling her that she need to be a kept woman. One of them is telling her she need to be a kept woman. The other one is talking about, do you even really like working at the newspaper? And Fatima is like, yeah, he asked me to move. Talking about Victor asked her to move in, but she still is going to keep her job. I'm like, just because a man asks you to move into their house doesn't mean that they want to take care of you. You can still take your ass to work. So the other one was like, I just want you to have, daughter, I want you to have a good life and I want you to be taken care of because that's what you deserve. Let me tell you something. Just because you wearing a skirt and a wig, all women are not like that. We are not just out here being taken care of because we're women. Do you understand the cost of living? Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? People is broke, girl. What? We all working out here working because child, the rent is not going to get paid, or we all gonna be standing in the child line, and it ain't gonna be a good time. Girl, don't listen to your friends, Fatima. I don't care what's going on. Move in with the man, but keep your damn job because you got to keep your independence. Moving on. So Monica in the next scene, Monica goes into Dre's office, okay? And this is where she goes in there still hating, talking about let's go get some coffee, and I didn't expect you to be married to somebody like her. And Dre was like, well, I just wanted to try something different because all the people that I was dating before broke my heart. Yeah. So Dre was being shady, but Dre was giving her a little bit too much attention, and I don't like that. Dre, you doing too much. Okay. You should have told her to get on up out of there. And you should have said it with your straight backs. Say it with your chest and your straight backs and let her know that you mean it. Okay. Do not entertain homegirl. I feel like Dre is still feeling some type of way because her wife had a roll in the sack with the brat. You're going to have to let that go, sis. You're going to have to let it go. You went on and forgave her and decided to move on. Don't go get your lick back with her. I'm trying to tell you. And Dre ain't say no about that coffee. Did y'all notice that? Mm-hmm. So in the next scene, Keisha is listening to a podcast of sorts, it seems, while she's cleaning the kitchen. And she seems really frustrated and flustered. The boys are in the next room playing, and Keisha ends up hearing one of them drop something and break it. And she said, shit. And the Tiffany and Emmett's son said, I thought you said no cursing. Because in the last episode, Tiffany and Emmett were going back and forth talking about he don't need to be cussing and this, that, and the third. And so now the little boy was like, yeah, I thought you said no cussing. Like, you over here trying to come for me and you sitting up here cursing. So Keisha gets a little even more upset, like, whatever, little boy. And so Emmett comes in. She is hurrying up to get her stuff together. She's like, I got to go take a test. And he's like, what? You just leaving? She was like, yeah, I got stuff to do. We need a nanny. We need a maid. We need this. And Emmett is like, girl, pump your brakes. Like, this house is getting to your head. He was like, first you want a big house. Now you want all this stuff. He was like, this money is really getting to you. And I'm not trying to be having that. Okay. Get your life. Because the quicker this money come, I'm not trying to be spending it all up. Like, what the hell? So she runs out the house flustered. Keisha need to go to a therapist and sit down with somebody because she's fresh off of basically being kidnapped and held in a basement. She's just getting out of high school. She's trying to find her way with college. She has this baby that Lord knows, I pray he don't grow up looking like the man, the person that was assaulting her. Okay. Child, she got a lot going on in her head, and Emmett is taking on a lot being with her. And I don't know what the hell her damn problem is, but Keisha need to figure it out. So moving on, Gemma is in the studio with Maisha and some producers, and the producers are she's like, what do you think about Maisha? Like, how can we get her like moving along. And the producers are like, yeah, she got a good vibe or whatever, but I don't know about her compared to some of these other people out here. She good, but she ain't that good. You know, basically like Maisha ain't that great. Okay. Y'all, all this time I ain't had my daggone mic in here. So moving on, he talked about how, you know, she needs some more practice. Basically, she needs to do better. And Maisha is in the studio trying to vibe or whatever. So Gemma goes up to the mic and she's like, yeah, you gotta, let's do that one more time. And the engineer was like, oh no, your time is up, sweetie. So Gemma is like, that's it. So she done paid for this whole session and now it's over. So her and Maisha are in the hallway talking. And Gemma is getting frustrated because she like, sis, I need you, like, I need this to work because I done took my trust fund baby funds and put them into you. And I'm not really getting a return on my investment. I need a return on my investment. That's what I need. She's getting upset. She's really mad. And Maisha is like, girl, do you believe in me or not? Because I mean, it ain't gonna happen overnight. And she's like, I need you. Gemma is like, I need you to write more songs. Like, come on, we need another banger. We need this. Like, she's trying to motivate Maisha. She's like, if either you believe in me or not, and I'm good with going to college. Like, I'm not laying my hat in this rap career. Like, I can do both. I'm good with going to college. So she's basically telling Gemma, don't push your dreams, all your hopes, all your dreams on me. Yes, I'm the talent, but I'm gonna need you to have your own stuff going on. Like, don't push me because you got a deadline that you need to meet. It's doing too much. So moving on, Maisha basically like, don't come at me, bro. Stop coming at me. So moving on, Big Pop, I said Big Papa. This is not the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Papa is bowling with his new boo Kenya. Okay, so they are bowling. Papa gives her some, you know, tips and tricks on bowling because she was doing a terrible job. Then her song comes on while they're bowling. It's an Anita Baker song. I can sing it, but y'all don't want to hear me singing. So an Anita Baker song comes on, and she was like, "Oh my God, that's my song," or whatever. And he was like, "I know, I requested it." Papa is such a little Casanova for him to be a teenager. I'm like, boy, you think you slick, but remember, he's a teenager, Kenya. You're 19, he's 17, so don't be doing the dirty dastardly deed with him because he is considered a minor. And I think that this is like foresight into something that could possibly be happening down the line, even though Papa said I'm gonna be 18 in a couple of months or whatever. I'm like, girl, don't give him the goodies until he legal. But they end up kissing child at the bowling alley. But moving on, Victor is at the office and Rosalind comes in basically telling him about Q being an FBI informant and telling him, listen, don't say nothing, you ain't see nothing, don't be a part of nothing. And he like, I don't know what you're talking about. She was like, oh, so you don't know about what happened? He was like, I mean, basically, your husband, Victor was like, basically, your husband finished him off by the time I got there. So she was like, oh, so you're an accomplice. Okay, I see what this is. Keep your mouth shut. Don't say nothing. And he was like, how long I got to keep on lying? And Rosalind was like, boy, just shut the hell up. Just shut the hell up. Let me handle it. So Victor is like, how did I get myself caught up in all this bullshit? Okay. So moving on, Tiffany and Rob are with the organic weed man. What's his name? His name is Cairo, I think. So they are walking around the facility and, you know, they're basically learning the environment. They're looking at how to get their own stuff going on, the processes, all the things that they need. And they are really, really excited about this. So he's telling them all the things that they need to do, and come to find out, where Tiffany thought that they needed one space, they actually need two spaces. So now she's looking like, God damn, I thought we had enough money from daggone Lynn Whitfield, Rob's mama, to get this here. Now we need double the money. This is just getting out of control and getting out of hand. We ain't got no damn space. I want to do this right. It's my money and I want it right now. She wants to do all this stuff right now. It ain't gonna happen right now. So she got to exert some patience. But Rob is just like, okay, whatever we gotta do to get it done, let's do it. So also Rob got to figure out who killed his uncle so that he can actually get the money from his mama. So that's another thing. So moving on. the next scene, all the teens, I'm gonna just say all the teens because it's a lot of people, is Jake and Gemma. There's Maisha and Kevin. They're all at Kevin's apartment, by the way. There's Bakari and I forgot the little girl's name that was living with Kevin, but her, because they go together now. And then there is Kenya and Papa. Okay. So they all playing game night, getting high and whatnot. And Maisha has something to say to Kenya. She's like, Dad, girl, can you participate or whatever? And Kenya was like, what? I'm playing. And she was like, the only reason Jake was like, y'all wanted to play girls versus guys. And Maisha's like, well, y'all cheating anyway. And Kevin was like, somebody said Lene. Yes, I am live right now, y'all. I can see y'all comments. I took a little break from work so I can talk to y'all because I ain't had no video prepared last night. My son made me take him out to dinner after boxing class, child, and I was tired. So I said, I'm gonna just come on at 9 o'clock and talk to y'all. So let me use this time to say good morning to my peoples. Rose Armstead, good morning, Shay Renee. What up, Rose? How you bees? Michelle is in the building. Good morning, Shay Renee. How are you? I am doing good, sis. You always ask me that every day, and I appreciate that. How are you? That's what I want to know. Okay. Michelle says, I'm glad you are reviewing The Shy. Yes, I love that show. I've been watching it from the gate. Okay. Emmett is in trouble dealing with Doodah. Yes, he is. Emmett is, I feel like, and we'll talk about this at the end. I feel like Emmett is very green to the whole situation. Like he don't really know what he's getting himself into. He really, really don't. Michelle says Tiffany needs patience. Yeah, absolutely. Tiffany ain't got no damn patience. Miss Van says Duda will get his karma hopefully soon, child. They tried to get off Duda, but that ain't work. We see he gonna keep coming back. I pray that they don't try to get rid of Emmett's daddy. They better not do nothing to Darnell in that earpiece. I tell you what. I tell you what. Michelle says Keisha's starting to act like her mother. Child, yes, absolutely. Her mother is annoying. Okay, that's why both her kids don't live there. She do too damn much. I can see being a protective mother, but she's just controlling and fucking annoying. Miss B, my sister's in the building. Morning, sis. What up? What up? Y'all make sure y'all go to Miss B's channel. I'm telling y'all her podcast that she has. She has a panel of women that they talk about some really, really amazing topics. Get on over to her channel and subscribe. Okay. Miss B, put the name of your, I don't know if it's on your, it's not on your channel. You have another channel for it. Put your information in the comment box so everybody can go and follow you and watch your show. Okay. The review hour is here. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How are you? Michelle says her name is Lene. Yes. So Lene and Bakari, not to be confused with Bacardi. Okay. Rum mix. Moving on. So Maisha get a little catty with Kenya for a second, but I don't think it was because she was jealous or anything. And so Maisha's like, that's only y'all only winning because y'all cheating. And then Kevin says, I would never cheat on you. Kevin, how high are you? Kevin, sit over there and shut the hell up. So now Kenya is like, oh my gosh, you guys were smoking. Oh my God. And Gemma is like, well, we can't be opening windows and stuff because at least not until this is legal for us to smoke it. And Kenya says, well, I'm legal. So she's like, girl, because I'm a grown ass woman or whatever. I don't know what y'all kids be on, but I am grown. You know what I'm talking about? I got my own car and stuff. And I don't got to ask my mommy and daddy if I can do stuff or whatever. Okay. Because I'm a grown woman. Okay. And so Papa was like, yeah, because, we on some other stuff over here. You know what I'm talking about? Me and my girl. And Kenya was like, I'm not your girl. The fact, when did I say I was your girlfriend? Don't think you're slick. Don't think that little kiss that you got in the bowling alley because you try to tell them to play my song because you think you're slick. We are not together. We are together apart, okay? Because you are 17 and you're not about to have me going to jail over nothing. Okay? Moving on. Papa keep on acting like he too cool for school and he's so grown now because he messing with somebody older. Child, Papa, shut the hell up. You are always capping. Moving on. So Jake, Bakari asked about Jake's shirt. That's what popped it all off. And Gemma is kind of negotiating the price. She's like, it's $50. You like it? And he was like, I ain't paying $50 for that. I'm like, all that money that you making, Bakari, you couldn't pay $50 for this shirt? Okay. So Gemma is negotiating with him. And Maisha was like, damn, you always at work, huh? I'm like, Maisha, you need to go to work. Okay. If you really want to be a rapper and you want this career to pop off, you need to go ahead and get your life together. Okay. And Gemma was like, well, maybe you need to work more. How about that? So them two are having a little spat. So moving on, Emmett shows up to the male review, okay, where everybody gonna talk about their feelings at this meeting, and he got the cheerings with him, okay. And Victor's assistant, I can't remember what his name is, child, the one that's helped him with his campaign and all of that. He sees Emmett with the kids because Emmett runs into his father. And he's like, why you got the kids? Why Keisha ain't got the kids? And he was like, she has something to do, so I gotta have the kids. So homeboy that's helping Victor, Quincy is his name. Michelle, Quincy is his name. I was right. So Quincy takes the kids to the back. Okay. So he said they have like services there for people and whatnot that got to bring their cheering. So they go off to the side, Darnell and Emmett, and he tells him, he was like, listen, you better watch the company that you keep. You hanging out with Duda, and I'm telling you, I've been out in these streets, and I know what that street life is talking about, and you don't know nothing about it. And Emmett was like, you don't need to tell me what to do, and blah, blah, blah. And he finds out in this moment, Darnell tells him that he is the one that had the pow pow. He was like, so you had it all this time? He's like, I don't need you telling me what to do. Give it back. And he was like, listen, I know you don't need me to parent you, but you definitely still need my protection because obviously you are not making the right choices. Don't mess around with that man. So they go on into the meeting, child, so that they can talk. And all the guys are talking. Vic wants to talk about some things that are going on because he feels like, with him being in this new position, he has a lot of pressure. He says he has a lot of confidence and, he wants to be everything to his community, but he doesn't feel the love back. He doesn't feel like people support him the way that he wants them to support him. And it's not that he needs all these accolades for all the things that he's doing. He just wants to feel like there's some reciprocity in all the things that he's doing. And I totally get that. Miss B says, thanks, Shay. The show is called So What You Think on YouTube. Yeah, so it's called So What You Think. So basically, like, so what you think? That's basically how the show goes. She's kind of like, so what you think about that? Like asking questions to the panel, and they all respond and give different perspectives on different topics. So y'all go follow So What You Think on YouTube and come on back and listen to the rest of this review. So moving on, they go into talking about all their individual issues. Victor talks about his issues with being in his current career. Then Marcus talks about what's going on with Gemma and his girlfriend. They don't know it's Tierra at this point, but they're talking about him and Tierra. He's talking about him and Tierra, how her and Gemma don't really get along. Right. And, Gemma is used to it just being the two of them. And now he has to get her used to him having a woman around. So he's trying to figure all that out. Then we get into Darnell talking about feeling like men in society have to be Superman, and it's just kind of messed up. So Emmett says, yeah, it's really great that you and I have reconnected, but I feel like, I got to be like that, but I didn't really have a good example of that. And Dark, because you weren't really around, I didn't really get to see any examples with you and my mother, or with you in other relationships or whatever. Because they're basically just connecting now that Emmett is older. And he's like, Emma's like, and that's cool or whatever. I'm glad to be around you and stuff. And Darnell was like, don't be blaming your bullshit on me because you ain't doing shit. Okay. And so then Emmett was like, no, I'm not blaming you. He's just like, I'm just really, really struggling or whatever. And Emmett says, everyone expects me to be a strong Black man, but how can I be what I didn't see? That was so powerful to me. It was so powerful to me in so many ways, because you got to think about it like this. As a young man, well, as grown adults, when we're out here, women and men, or, whatever your preference is, we're out here dating. Okay. And you get with a man that doesn't show any emotions, or he think it's soft to show how he feels and all this, that, and the third, which this is a human thing to have emotions. The fact that we have the capability means it's okay to use it, right? The problem is a lot of young boys don't see their fathers showing emotion. They don't see them showing a lot of positive emotion. There's so many men that won't kiss their sons, won't hug their sons, won't cry in front of their sons, won't treat women well in front of their sons, won't love their wives or their girlfriends or love their sons' mamas in front of their sons. So guess what that breeds? That breeds a son growing up not knowing how to love his girlfriend or significant other or wife, and expecting the wife, the girlfriend, the significant other, whoever, to comply with how they feel. Get with it or get lost. That's basically a lot of men's mentality. And they don't want to change. You can constantly tell them, this is what I need from you. This is how this makes me feel. I need this from you. You're constantly trying to pull something out of them. And instead of a lot of men complying, they're like, I don't want to do that. That's just not me. Why isn't it you? Because they didn't have great examples growing up as to how to properly express your emotions, how to love other people properly, right? So there was a lot of power in what Emmett said right there. And I just, I hung on that for such a moment. Moving on, Rashad says, you know what? I really ain't really falling for none of this stuff y'all talking about. I can't really feel it because I can't get a job. Y'all are complaining about stuff and I can't get a job. I can't do this. And I got a woman that I really care about and I want to show her the best. I want to be there for her, but I'm lusting after somebody that I can't have. And Emmett is like, who you lusting after? You ain't lusting after Keisha, are you? He was like, no. He was like, yeah, because you was over my house and stuff, man. I'm going to make sure you ain't lusting after my girl. I was like, Emmett, Lord, that was hilarious. But Rashad over here lusting after Marcus' girl, and he don't even know it. But anyway, Rashad is going in about all these circumstances in his life. But Rashad, you created these circumstances, sir. Didn't nobody tell you to rob a bank? That don't have nothing to do. That's not nobody else's responsibility. Now, you have to do what you can do. You have a great support system in your woman, right? Start a business. You don't need nobody to hire you for that. Figure out how you can start your own business. Figure out how to propel yourself forward. Because now with this day and age of social media and all this stuff, can't no criminal record hold nobody down these days. I tell you what. Rashad got to stop feeling sorry for himself and stop continuing to make mistakes because you letting yourself slip back into the clutches of Duda because you that fast money mentality. Again, living in this microwave society, people want stuff to happen real fast. Then you over here sleeping with Tiara. Even though Victor didn't want her, still that was his girl at one point. And you got a woman that's treating you well and you out here screwing around on her. Deja didn't deserve that. But moving on, y'all. So Jamal, aka Vic Mensa, I bet y'all didn't know he was a rapper. He is a very good rapper, actually. That is Lene's brother, okay? So Lene's brother is basically like, I'm just trying to keep myself out of jail, y'all. I'm trying to be a good example for my sister and be here for her and whatnot. And that's all she wrote. Okay. And Darnell was like, listen, we just gotta be mindful of the company we keep around here. Like basically stay away from Duda and don't let him infiltrate your families and whatnot. So moving on, they all agree that they need to do meetups like this more often. And Quincy says this is a great segue to adjourn for a little bit and then we'll come back. So Keisha and Tiffany are talking at Keisha's house. No, they're at Tiffany's house, I believe. And they're talking about Tiffany's new business, how she wants to get it started and how she needs to find a space. And Keisha was like, well, you could use our realtor. He was really good, but he is associated with Duda. And I know you don't really screw with him like that. And Tiffany was like, yeah, I'm trying to get away from Duda. I'll find my own space. I ain't trying to deal with nothing that has to do with him. And she was like, Keisha makes a comment about Emmett acting different. And Tiffany was like, don't be afraid to cuss Emmett out, girl, because Lord knows I did it enough. Okay, don't you be afraid to tell Emmett how I need to be told. Okay. And she was like, mind you, for real, girl, you need to go on and quit your job anyway. You don't need to be going to school. Quit your job and just make this cheese dip, girl. Because this is your cash cow right here. Girl, Keisha, don't listen to Tiffany's dog ass. Because Tiffany is a dingbat. Moving on. Gemma, which that cheese dip that she makes, everybody make it sound so good. I wants to come through the TV with a tortilla chip and try some. But that's just a side note. Moving on. Gemma and Jake are talking, and she says she says, did you notice what was going on between Maisha and Kevin? There's a little something going on there, a little zesty. Okay. And Gemma, girl, mind your business, because you done had Jake and daggone Kevin. You don't need to worry about Kevin and daggone Maisha. Let them do what they got to do. So then as she's talking, they see somebody on social media wearing Jake's shirt. And Jake was like, I don't even know who this dude is. Oh, he a rapper. Okay, cool. And he seems to have a lot of followers, this person on social media. And so Gemma is like, oh my gosh, this is great, but I don't really like his lyrics. She was like, oh my gosh, he sounds so misogynistic, but this is what people want to hear. And Jake was like, I don't give a damn about his lyrics. He bought my damn shirt and he's publicizing it. I'm gonna need to go ahead and get my stuff out here. This is a sign basically for Jake that this is what he need to be doing. So he worrying about himself, and Gemma over here realizing that the lyrics that Maisha is spitting is not what's going to be mainstream. So she got to figure out what she got to be doing and the type of music people like, and girlfriend about to be going to college. That's what she about to be doing. So moving on, Darnell and Jada host dinner where Rashad and his girl Deja come over, and Marcus brings Tierra over as well. So Rashad is over there trying to contain himself once he sees Tierra, because I feel like his sword was trying to jump out of his pants, child. He must remember that night and was just having a wet dream with his eyes open. I was like, baby, did she put it on you that good? It's too much. You doing too much. And I feel like Deja could sense it because she on fool with Tierra. She's giving off that lioness, like, girl, you fucking with my man. Mm-hmm. Because I don't trust you. Because you was just with Victor and stuff. And now you over here with Marcus. Mm-hmm. Is you looking at my man? Uh-huh. Pass the peas like we used to do. Mm-hmm. She looking at Deja giving her the serious people's eyebrow. Like, I don't trust this heifer. Okay. So Tierra was like, well, what's your occupation, Tierra? So Tierra basically gives a little roundabout, little something of what she do. And Rashad was about to anyway. And Rashad was like, that ain't your business to be asking her that. Like defending Tierra as if that's his girl or something. And Deja was like, who the what? Because I know a bitch that's living in my house with putting your feet up on my table is not trying to come for me because I'm asking this bitch a question. Smoke your weed on the balcony. That's what you do. That's what you need to be worrying about. Okay. And if I'm going to put you out, don't you over here protecting this bitch? Deja was looking at him like, I know you fucking lying. So then he was like, no, I'm just saying, like, because I don't like when people ask me that. And Darnell was like, that's because you ain't got no job, Tommy. And so he was like, no, I'm just saying, like, yeah, y'all, I just don't like when nobody asks that. Boy, you stepped out of your cage too quick, okay? So moving on, Rashad just basically is continuing the rest of this night trying to look lustfully at Tierra. So moving on, and Tierra plays it off real well. That baby got a brick soul. Like, her heart is made of stone. She don't give a damn. So in the next scene, Duda is at his lair, child. And him and Tony Childs is sitting over there putting, talking. And she puts a bug in his ear, basically like saying, hey, one of these mofos gonna turn on you. Which one is it? He's like, nah. They're all pretty loyal. And she was like, what about that one? And she points over to Nook. She was like, he seemed like he's power hungry or whatever the case may be. And he was like, no, he's very loyal. He's not going to do that. He wouldn't do that. Foreshadowing. Nook might be the one to go on and knock him down a little bit. Okay. So as they're talking, Bakari comes in with Rashad. Okay. And Duda puts the pow-pows on the table. Basically, Nook brings them out. And they're like, listen, we just need somewhere to hold this for a little bit. And we'll let you hold something. We go in and pay you for your time and stuff like that, like we did the last time. How you gonna act? Is you gonna do it or not? Is you blood or cuz? And Rashad storms about it. They're like, I'm just trying to stay out of trouble, man. I'm just trying to stay out of trouble. Mm-mm. I'm like, woo. So Bakari leaves and goes after Rashad because he gonna basically try to convince him to do this for the money because you was just telling Bakari that you needed some cash. So moving on, Tiffany goes to Victor's office basically to try to rush him to get some permits so she can get these 2 spaces and grow her whole weed business, her organic weed child. She gonna be rich and get rid of Duda. Baby, I don't know how you think you just gonna up and get rid of Duda. It don't work like that, sis. It never did and never will. Never did and never will. Okay? You're stretching yourself. And Victor basically tells her, listen, I ain't gonna be able to do that. And then Cairo was like, he was back there. He was like, listen, I own whatever his business name is, and I'm willing to back them. I'm willing to do this. I'm willing to go ahead and upfront whatever they need. And Victor was like, who are you in the back? I don't really care. It's gonna take 6 months. It's a lot. And Quincy was like, yeah, it's gonna take like 6 months. We can't do this. So then she storms out. Tiffany storms out because she ain't getting what she wants. So Rob stays behind. And Quincy was like, I mean, by you sitting here being intimidating to Victor, he's not going to do it. So I already told you no. Can you get your ass out of here? You ain't got to go home, but you got to get the hell up on out of here. And Victor was like, no. Let him sit here. It's cool. So Rob is like, so you ain't like my uncle, did you? Basically probing him again, like, I know what you did last summer, sir. I just want you to tell me. Because I think he thinks Victor off Q. But Victor is like very steadfast and saying, I don't know what you're talking about. Q had a lot of enemies. A lot of people didn't like him. I don't know what happened. I don't know what you want me to tell you. So Rob is just like, okay. I know you know something. I'm going to figure it out. So he said, if I find out you got anything to do with this, basically, he going to get Victor. So he leaves out of there, and as he's going outside, Cairo and Tiffany are talking in the car, and Tiffany was like, I got to get this done now. I need it. It's my money. I want it now. It's my business, and I want to run it now. So Cairo was like, you just heard what he said. He's not going to give you the permit, and maybe you need to talk to Rob about this. And she's like, psh, whatever, Rob will do whatever I want him to do. We are united front. Whatever. Fuck all you talking about. Yeah, we gonna do this. I'm like, girl, you don't never have a plan for nothing. Just an attitude. That ain't gonna get a business started, sis. But moving on. Yes, Quincy, Michelle. Michelle says, do Emmett know that Duda killed Brandon? Child, I don't think he does. I don't think he does. I'm gonna have to go back and watch season 1. I don't think Emmett knows because Emmett opened up the restaurant in honor of Brandon, right? Because of their truck that they had. I don't think he do because if he knew that, he wouldn't be fooling with Duda at all, pretty much. So moving on, Fatima is at Victor's house with her ghetto girlfriends, and Jake has people coming in and out of the house buying his products. So one of the customers is in there tomorrow. Man, this went from a trap house to a tranny house because Fatima is over there with her friends trying to pick out colors and decorations and whatnot for the house. And Jake comes out and is like, who the fuck asked you? And don't be talking to you can step. You can get the hell on because ain't nobody asked you to be here. And the dude was like, man, whatever. I leave. So he leaves, and Jake is pushing him out the house and talking shit to him as he walks out. I'm surprised they ain't start fighting the way Jake was pushing him up out of there. So Jake tells everybody else, and if anybody else got something to say, you can step too. So basically, he was defending Fatima. Like, we ain't about to be doing all of that bashing of people and their sexuality and what they decide to do with their life. We ain't about to be doing that up in here. Buy a shirt and going on. That's what you do. Okay? So moving on, Nook brings money to Emmett and tells him to hide it, and he doesn't want. Emmett is like, I can't take this. I don't want Keisha to find this. He's like, well, hide it then. I don't know what you want me to do, but you gonna take this damn money. That's what Nook told him. So Emmett gets the money and takes it in the house. I'm like, Emmett, you are really digging your heels into a deep, deep ditch with Duda. You can't allow him to keep forcing you into this stuff. Because Duda is basically washing money through Emmett's chicken shacks, okay? And he ain't fooling nobody. But that should be enough. You already washing your money through my business and I don't know about it. I don't want to have to be doing all these extra dastardly deeds for you. And Emmett gonna end up having to stand up to the man, and he gonna have to figure out how to buy him out some type of way, because this type of stuff right here, this will get you in trouble. This is gonna get you in trouble, and he'll be out here still living his life like it's golden in his freedom era. And Emmett, you'll be in jail while he running all your businesses and take your part. Moving on, the pastor, which is Papa's daddy, is giving a sermon, child. And he is basically talking about the devil in sheep's clothing, which is Duda, sitting in the back of the daggone church house. No. Oh, sorry, y'all. I was checking to make sure ain't nobody at my damn door. The pastor is giving a sermon basically talking about Duda being a predator in the neighborhood. He don't say Duda's name, but we know who you're talking about, sir. And that the people need to remain vigilant and cast the devil out of their city. And Duda is back there listening to all of this, pissed off. Because, number one, Nook took money to the pastor and told him to hold the money. And the pastor was like, I done told you to get that up out of here. Get thee behind me, you devil. I don't want that. Okay? I told you I'm not doing none of this stuff no more. Get the hell up out of my church. Okay? So they're pissed off at the pastor because he ain't helping them with their little dastardly deeds no more. And so Duda is sitting in the back of the church, I guess, to try to intimidate him. And he's not intimidated at all. So Nook, he tells Nook to go ahead and off the pastor. And Nook was like, say less. I'm like, the way that y'all can just pick up a pow and just use it on people, unbelievable. Unbelievable. Shout out to my sister for making my mug, y'all, my shayrenee.net mug. And y'all going on and visit my website, shayrenee.net. All orders over $75 are free shipping, okay? We have, listen, the weather is about to change. Y'all better get y'all immune systems together, okay? We have sea moss gel, different types of teas, and I'm getting, and juices. I'm about to create a whole detox juice line that I'll be uploading soon. But there are juices on there that you can detox with now. Go ahead, shayrenee.net. Get you some, okay? But y'all, that is the Shy, okay? Listen, this show is very good, and it's known for its twists and turns. So I'm excited to see what the rest of I think it's only going to be 10 episodes or maybe 8. I think it's been 8 historically. So we probably only got 2 or 3 more episodes until the season is over. So what y'all think? How is this? What we about to do with Duda? Because Duda is a menace to society, and we are tired of him. Okay? We are tired of him. Michelle says, I'm waiting for the detox juice. Oh, okay, so you want to wait till I put the detox juices on the website. I got you, sis. I got you, friend. Michelle actually ordered from me before. Michelle, leave it in the comments how you felt about my products. I love to see that. I love to see feedback, because I remember you placed an order with me before, and I hope you enjoyed it, okay? I appreciate you. Thank y'all so much for watching. Please, please, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with anybody else that's watching this show with us too. And I will see you in the next episode. Peace out.